So let me go to show you here. I'll go back to our building entrance camera, and I'll take a look at the events that are generated by that camera. Remember, an event is an object that moves somewhere in the camera. The camera can see moving. And I'm going to do a couple of searches here to give you an idea of the way that we do use this. This is actually something that we use quite often. So first of all, let me just say I'm going to take a look at events that occurred over the last several hours where I'm not going to put anything on it. I'm really interested in pretty much everything that's going on here. So I'm not going to prune it down. I'm just going to say, show me everything that happened over the last several hours. And of course, if I show thumbnails, I said that improperly, I'm going to see everybody that came in. I saw a track of everyone that came in. So here's a person walking around a car and in. Here's another person, and so forth. And in these thumbnails, we highlight the moving object. And then we show a track that goes from blue to red that shows the direction that that person took as they were coming into or out of the building, as they were moving. And of course, you can click on that to see them. We also give the times that event occurred. Now, let's say I'm interested in some other things. So let me go back to the search page. And this is similar to what I showed you before, only with all the events. I can show you the distribution of those events over time, every hour or every minute or what have you. So here, if you can make it out, the whole scene gets some activity because people walk in various ways. You can see there's a streak across the middle here, and these are probably cars driving through the parking lot. But what's even more interesting is you can see these green streaks that come in from the parking lot, and these are people that are coming into the building after having parked their cars. There's a choke point up here where the walkway goes between the cars, and you can see, of course, there's a fair amount of activity there. And then you can see how the tracks split, and so that people come in on either side of the planter as they come into the building. They tend to go near this railing in the center. You can see there's also another set of people that come in here from over on this side of the parking lot. They come around the vehicle and come in. And so this will tell you something about where things are busy, where the activity is. To go along with that, we've got another view that we call our track summary. And what this is a view that shows the track of every single object that came through the scene. So again, here you can see, only in a slightly noisier form, the track of every object. These streaks here are the cars. Now, if I just float over some of these, you'll see a pop-up window that will show the thumbnail of each individual car. So, for example, there's one car and another, and I can actually click on these if I like. I'm not going to do it right now because I would have to rebuild and get back in here, but I can click on each of these and go to the record for that individual object. Down here, we have the tracks of the people coming in from the parking lot, and again, you can float over those and see those people as they walk in. There's an interesting one as a person parked their car and walked actually from the building back to the car. You can take a look. One of the things this is really good for is looking for anomalies, saying, well, what on earth is this track here? Is that something? Well, we take a look at it, and you can see that it's just a person who took kind of a meandering path on the way to the building. So it's nothing that's worth worrying about, but it could have been. Here again, here's another path of a person, and the reason that they're not walking the standard path is because they parked their car and they had to get out and go around it. So in this case, it's pretty benign, but you can easily see how this would be useful if you had an area where, for example, there was a restricted zone in a particular place, and you did not expect or want people to be going into that restricted zone. You can take a look at this over time and see how many people do wander into that restricted zone. What are those people doing, and are those people that we should be concerned about? As well as getting information about the patterns of activity where people walk. You might use this information to guide where you're going to put up a security checkpoint, for example. If you know that the people naturally tend to congregate or walk through a particular area, it's a natural choke point, that might be a good spot to put in a security checkpoint. So these are various ways that we can summarize the information that we've collected over time. This information is automatically collected. We've got a lot of information about everything that's moved through the scene, and now we can summarize it and try to collect it into ways that are useful to get